Hey there guys, alright, today we are back with another simple history video, this time weird weapons and equipment of World War I. Not entirely certain what to expect here as a weird weapon of World War I, because, I don't know, when I've seen stuff of World War I haven't really thought of it too outlandish, at least compared to some other weapons of history, but we'll see what simple history has pulled out. Go ahead and, actually, almost forgot. Before we dive into the video, make sure you go and check out the links below in my description box or in my pinned comment in the comment section. I have a link to my Twitch channel where I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from about 6 p.m. US Central Standard Time to 9 p.m. US Central Standard Time. And then the other link that's important is my gaming channel link here on YouTube, where I am just uploading old stream VODs too. So make sure you go check those out. Throw me a follow over at Twitch and come hang out in the chat when I'm live. Love to have you. Now, let's go ahead and dive into the video.
First World War technology, weird weapons and equipment. The First World War saw modern weaponry used on an immense scale. Out of this came unique technological advancements in weapons and equipment, but also primitive designs reminiscent of earlier eras of warfare. Let's have a look at some weapons. The gauntlet dagger, born out of the brutality of trench war.
You know what? Yeah, it's a little weird, a little funky, but it's fucking cool looking.
Warfare. The gauntlet dagger, sometimes known as the punching dagger, was worn like a glove for close-quarter combat. A crudely made blade and protective gauntlet made from light sheet steel with a crossbar inside for grip.
Light sheet steel. Oh.
Formed this weapon. While it meant the soldier couldn't hold anything else in his hand, it could deliver a lethal impact and inspire fear in the enemy.
I don't understand the point of that gauntlet though, because you still had bayonets on the end of your weapons. So like, why? What's the point? You put it on the end of your weapon, you still have the same, you have longer range, which I guess could be a detriment. You know, that allows for short jabs, which I guess in trench warfare could be because you're more close quarters. You can't really move that much with a gun, perhaps, with a rifle in your hands. So I guess I could see a use, but then, you know, we've got the club here, which can do the same thing.
The trench raiding club.
As that gauntlet.
Another medieval-style weapon was the trench raiding club. Used by the Allied powers and the Central powers, this melee weapon was a quiet way of taking out the enemy during nighttime raids. Trench clubs could be made in very crude ways, such as attaching a metal head to or banging boot nails into an entrenching tool handle.
Hey, what works, works.
There are also examples of walking sticks that have trench clubs on the end.
Hey, you never know when you might get charged, though. You know what? If you need a walking stick, why not put some fucking metal on the end of it? Bam! Be a walking stick and you can stab people.
Example, which is made from a naturally gnarled piece of wood, weighted with lead and fitted with iron spikes, was probably used as an officer's walking stick. The flechette, or aerial dart.
What the fuck? I've never heard of this.
Flechettes were a feathered aerial dart dropped out of an aircraft onto enemy troops. Used in the early parts of the war, they were capable of piercing a helmet and were silent as they dropped before inflicting damage. The periscope.
How effective were those? They didn't really explain if they were effective or not. I want to kind of... If anyone knows if those aerial darts were effective... Well, seeing as how he said that they were used in the beginning of the war, and then it sounds like they got phased out pretty quick. Perhaps they weren't that effective? But they sound like they could be effective.
Periscope rifle. The periscope rifle allowed a soldier to take aim safely from the trenches without exposing himself to the enemy. The device, invented by Lance Corporal William Beach in May 1915 during the Gallipoli campaign, used an upper mirror fixed looking at the sights of the rifle, which reflected into the lower mirror.
You know, that's pretty fucking clever, and I like that idea. But yeah, there's obviously issues with it. You can't, like, move the gun, right? You're stuck aiming one fucking way.
Which the soldier peered into. The periscope rifle proved useful and was soon used in many frontline trenches.
Oh, I guess if you have it set up like that, then you're able to move it, though. Shit. Why didn't more people use it?
The grenade catapult and crossbow. The Leech trench catapult was used by the British Army to throw grenades at a high trajectory into the enemy trench. The French-made Arbalète Sauterelle Type A, or grenade crossbow, was lighter and portable and would replace the Leech catapult until they were replaced in 1916 by the 2-inch medium trench mortar and the Stokes mortar.
Okay.
Let's have
that replacement of the phasing out of the grenade catapult, of course, makes sense, right? You got mortars now, so you didn't. The other weapons here, though, sound like they could still be pretty fucking useful, especially that periscope rifle.
a look at some equipment. Armor.
Ooh.
Steel helmets were adopted by most combatant armies by 1916, offering much better protection from shrapnel than a cloth cap. Experimentation with chainmail visors, which attached to the helmet to protect eyes from shrapnel, were made, but these proved to be unpopular because they limited visibility. Along with head protection, consideration for the torso was also given. In 1915, the British first tried out body armor, but it was not universally issued, with enough body armor to equip only 2% of its army.
Ooh.
There were 3 types of armor.
Yikes.
Rigid, hard armor, metal plates sandwiched between fabric and worn as a vest. Intermediate armor, various forms of small square plates of metal attached to a canvas support to form a protective waistcoat. And soft armor, layers of silk, cotton or tissue, and linen scraps sandwiched in a fabric waistcoat. The stronger the armor, the more it could stop the effects of pistol rounds and shrapnel, but as a result, the more heavier and cumbersome it became. Armor was issued to specialist troops in the war by different combatants, such as the German stormtroopers and the Italian Arditi. Anti-gas fans. 100,000 of these fans were issued to British troops on the Western Front in 1916. Made from waterproof canvas stiffened with cane, the fan was a way of clearing the German gas out of the trenches.
Did it work?
The fake tree. Fake trees were used by both sides as observation and sniping platforms. Under the cover of night, the observation post tree would be planted in no man's land by engineers, allowing the observer or sniper to spy on the enemy in plain sight. Only a few of these fake trees were discovered and captured.
That don't look like a fucking... That don't look realistic at all.
What weapon and piece of equipment did you find the strangest? Leave a comment below.
Alright, so I want someone to tell me if these weapons and equipment were effective. I think the armor wasn't that effective, hence why it probably wasn't mass-produced, right? If things aren't mass-produced, then I guess you can assume that they weren't that effective, but a couple of these sounded like they'd be pretty effective, and I'm curious about the fake tree there, if that was actually useful or not in war for snipers, or if, like, literally everyone was able to fucking see that was a fake tree or whatever, right? I'm curious. If you know the answers to those questions, please do leave a comment down in this. Please do leave a comment in the comment section below, and hit that like button and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.